In the first session, I mentioned the recent passage of Hurricane Melissa, one of the most powerful hurricanes recorded in the Atlantic. The true economic impact will take months to fully quantify. However, preliminary estimates already indicate catastrophic losses. Prime Minister Carney pointed out that it is estimated that we have lost, in terms of physical damage, approximately $8.8 billion, or the equivalent of approximately 41% of our GDP. 45 lives were tragically lost. This devastation occurred despite years of strengthening preparedness guided by robust protocols and legislation. For Jamaica and for other small island developing states in Caribbean and beyond, the climate crisis is not abstract. It is not an academic consideration. It is an existential threat. A single climate-driven event can erase decades of progress, destabilize public finances, and constrain development trajectories overnight. Disaster risk reduction is therefore not merely a policy priority, it is fundamental to our national survival. Recovery and reconstruction will be a formidable task, but Jamaica is not daunted. We are determined to rebuild stronger, more resilient, and more sustainable. We have already activated our multi-layer disaster risk financing framework to support immediate response and early recovery. However, the scale of the challenge far exceeds what small economies can shoulder alone. We will need your support. On behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I extend deep appreciation to our international partners, some of whom are represented here today. Their assistance has been vital in our disaster response and relief efforts. The unprecedented strength of Hurricane Melissa, following the wake of last year's Hurricane Beryl and other weather events, these ground our global call to action. The world must confront this crisis by urgently reducing emissions in line with the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. Failure to do so guarantees more frequent and more destructive storms for countries like Jamaica, which have made the economic sacrifices but have had them undone by exogenous climate factors. Resilience must also therefore be our guiding principle. Resilience is not ideology, it is practicality. Disasters impose undeniable economic costs. Investing in resilient infrastructure, diversified energy systems, and disaster preparedness is simply sound economics. Resilience is the bridge between climate ambition and fiscal prudence. It is where all nations can find common ground. We therefore call on G20 members to support climate finance at the level, scale, and concessionality required for vulnerable nations to survive and thrive. This includes financing to rebuild climate-resilient infrastructure, expand risk transfer and disaster insurance instruments, strengthen agricultural and food systems, given the severe damage wrought on a sector central to jobs, food security, and rural livelihoods. Jamaica is doing its part. We are committed to a just energy transition and to achieving at least 50% renewable electricity generation by 2030. But as is the case with other small island developing states, attaining such targets requires partnerships, technology transfer, concessional financing, and capacity building from major economies. I close by encouraging us to build formidable partnerships that will strengthen our disaster resilience and accelerate the just transition to clean energy solutions for the benefit of our present and future generations.